Yes, sir, man. We're here with the Week 13 picks. Thursday Night Football. Buffalo at New England. What's your prediction?
I actually think this game's going to be close, but I think I'm going to give it to Buffalo. Josh Allen is just too good.
He is too good. Now, I know he ties with the league in turnovers, but it doesn't come off that way because that's how good Buffalo just is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Does he actually?
That's
crazy.
He's tied with who was it? I think it's Matt Ryan. I heard. But nonetheless, yeah, I'm going with Buffalo. Buffalo's too good right now.
Yeah, I mean, New England's been keeping it real competitive with their opponents the past couple of weeks, and Buffalo's kind of had a string of close games lately, especially last Thanksgiving, last Thursday against the Detroit Lions in Detroit. But I think Buffalo can still get the victory here against New England for sure. I think Buffalo gets another win.
Yeah. Now we move on to Sunday games. We start off with the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Atlanta Falcons. Rex, as a Steelers fan, I'm curious to know your thoughts on the team.
Steelers. We're going to win. Nah, I wish I could say that, but the Falcons aren't good either, so it's going to be a scrappy game. And I don't think I've ever picked the Steelers to lose on the Y'all's channel.
So is that going to change now? Is that going to change?
I don't really want to start now. Steelers are winning. The Falcons, they're just so bad.
Yeah, Falcons, I mean, I'll give them this. They're competitive, but there's nothing about them that comes off as, wow.
They're not a winning team.
No.
They could win the division. Think about that.
That division is the worst in football.
And they could win it. They can hang their hat on that, if anything. You know?
That'd be wild.
It's a possibility. It really is. And with that being the case, I can see Atlanta definitely keeping it competitive in this one. They are a competitive team. But I agree with Dan, though. There's nothing that sticks out about Atlanta that speaks volumes about them outside of their competitiveness with Arthur Smith leading the team in his second year as head coach. But after the Steelers getting it was an ugly win last week against the Colts on Monday Night Football, they still got a win. I think it's a string of momentum that the Steelers are probably going to be trying to hold on to and take that win onto the road again against Atlanta and potentially get this a win here. I do think the Steelers, in an ugly fashion like last week, but I think the Steelers do get the win and get their second straight road win.
Yeah, I agree. Pittsburgh all around the entire table. Give me Steelers. There's a very good chance they win 2 in a row. They could do it. So let's hope they do. Next game, we have a NFC North matchup. We have the Green Bay Packers at the Chicago Bears. What's your prediction?
Oh, man. So the Bears, are they both coming off a loss?
I believe. Bears lost.
Yeah, and Packers lost Sunday night. A-Rod got injured, too.
He did. That's right. So is Jordan Love going to get the start here?
It depends on the severity of the injury. I don't think it's really as bad as it initially was. I think A-Rod's fine. He could miss this game. He could not. I'm not entirely sure. Jordan Love's name could be called upon this matchup.
We would just have to see throughout the week. But
you can say the same about Justin Fields. He may not be available for this game. We may see Trevor Siemian again. Could be the battle of the backups for this one.
Oh, God. You're talking the longest rivalry in football played by backups.
Yeah.
I think if Fields doesn't play, the Packers are winning, is what I think. Because he's by far the best player on that. Or not best player, but he's an exciting player to watch. We'll leave it at that. And if Jordan Love plays, that'll be just a whole fun game to watch. Those young quarterbacks.
Yeah, there will be. So who you going with this one?
I think I'm gonna go with if Justin Fields play, I'm gonna go with the Bears.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree. I think Fields will play. He should be healthy enough, and this is my upside of the week. Give me Chicago.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know if Fields is going to play. Honestly, if he doesn't play, I think Green Bay wins, and that's who I'm going to pick here because I don't know if the Bears are going to throw Justin Fields out there like that after suffering an injury like that. So I think Green Bay does get the win here if Fields does not play for Chicago.
Right. Next game, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Detroit Lions. This should be an interesting competitive matchup. What's your prediction?
So is it at Detroit?
Yes.
I think the Lions will win.
Okay.
I mean, they coming off a tough loss. Wait, no, not a tough loss. Well, I guess they had a tough loss against the Bills, but I feel like the Lions have so many tough losses. It's hard to keep track.
You're so right in that statement because they could have many wins on their column. They just can't pull off. They can't finish games, man.
No.
And with that being said, I'm actually going to go Jacksonville here. This is one of those coin toss games. It could go either way. You know it's going to be one of those fun competitive matchups. But give me Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I think ETN's going to have a field day.
Yeah, I mean, both teams are very challenging. They're very competitive. They're with Dan Campbell coaching the Lions and Doug Peterson coaching the Jaguars. With them having bad seasons, you see the competitiveness in the players and the team, and it kind of shows a potential bright future for both of these teams, if anything. But this one, it could go either way. Could definitely be a back and forth type of matchup here. But I liked what I saw from Jacksonville last week against the Ravens, coming off in a big comeback, had nothing to lose. Doug Peterson chose to go for the 2-point conversion, and they beat Baltimore and caused Baltimore to choke yet another lead in yet another game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm liking what Jacksonville's doing right now, so I think Jacksonville can get the win here on the road.
Next game, New York Jets at the Minnesota Vikings. What's your prediction, sir?
I think this will be a close game, but I'm Minnesota. I think the Vikings will win. They're one of my favorite teams to watch right now.
They are just too fun to watch. They're too talented, man. They're really showing out that potential for once. The Jets with Mike White. How about that, man?
I forgot Mike White.
Mike White, and he's really bringing energy to that Jets team that needs it badly. But Minnesota's pretty good right now. They're at home. I like their chances. Minnesota's an easy call.
Yeah, this is definitely a more competitive matchup here for Mike White going up against Minnesota's defense that has actually been looking pretty solid this year. It's one of the reasons why they have the record they have right now outside of the electric offense Minnesota has and everything like that. But in general, I think Minnesota continues to get wins in their win column and get the win here at home.
Yeah. NFC East battle. We have Washington at the New York Giants. What's your prediction?
I think the Giants win.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones, he's on my fantasy team, so he better do good.
I'm
what? Debating starting him over Brady.
Ooh, you know what?
Brady's just sucking this year. They don't score.
I would totally start Daniel Jones over Brady. I got a feeling he's going to score a rushing touchdown this one.
He scored one last week. No, he scored one 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so, I mean, he's kind of due for that, especially against a Washington defense that is hit or miss. Washington's more competitive with Heineke, as we know, but New York, they're at home. They're fighting for playoff chances. As of right now, surprisingly, the entire NFC East are in the playoffs. I don't know how long.
That's a tough division somehow.
Somehow, and last year we were talking about it being the worst. So
yeah,
what a year makes for football. But Giants for me.
Yeah, I mean this is yet another game in my opinion that could go either way. I mean both teams for the playoff picture right now are in the playoffs, and both these teams are obviously going to be vying for a playoff spot. But the Giants speak out to me more than the Commanders. I mean, I admire the Commanders' fighting spirit. I admire them being competitive ever since Heineke stepped in when Wentz got injured, and now he's taken over that role whenever Wentz does come back. Wentz is now the backup. Heineke's looked real solid. The Commanders have definitely stepped up big time, but so have the Giants the entire season. And Daniel Jones has actually looked like a solid quarterback, and a big plus for him is he has not really turned the ball over a lot this year compared to his previous years with the Giants. And Saquon Barkley is just Saquon Barkley, and that defense has been really, really good for them. I think the Giants get the win here.
Agreed. Next game, we move on to the Tennessee Titans at the Philadelphia Eagles. This should be a very interesting one. What's your prediction?
I think the Titans might be pulling off in Philly. I don't think the Eagles are that good. I mean, I know they're good, but 10-1 good. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean their record might not.
I got the Titans. Sorry.
No, you're good. It's just this one is tough because I almost want to go Tennessee as well. Derrick Henry's just a monster. Now he didn't do much last week versus Cincinnati. Philadelphia's defense, their rushing defense is pretty solid, so they could be able to slow down King Henry. If they do, I like their chances. But we know when Henry gets going, Tennessee's always in it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Philly here. They're 10-1. Maybe not the most convincing 10-1, but they keep doing everything right thus far.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of hard to bet against them, so give me Philly.
Yeah. But, I mean, for this game, this definitely speaks as one of those games where Tennessee could pull off the quote-unquote upset. And I can definitely see Tennessee taking it to Philly in Philadelphia. As long as Derrick Henry gets going, they're staying in the game. They're staying in the fight. Philadelphia, the past few weeks, they've kind of been – I mean, they're still great. They're still a good team. But, they've kind of let some teams, like the Colts and even the Packers, even when A-Rod went out, the Packers were taking it to them real good with Jordan Love in there. And Philly, they've kind of been struggling slightly a little bit with opposing teams and offenses coming back, almost beating them, honestly. And Tennessee just speaks to me as one of those teams that's going to take the fight to you. And right. I think Tennessee, somehow, some way, quote-unquote, with the upset here, I think Tennessee could definitely get the win here.
It should be an interesting one. Next game, we have the Denver Broncos at the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens cannot hold the lead to save their lives this year. They're facing a terrible Broncos team. Do the Broncos pull off an upset?
I don't think so. I think the Ravens are about to whoop the Broncos.
Yeah. I mean, they...
Like, Broncos, like, fantasy players, those are players I stay away from, like how I was talking about earlier. I would not draft a player from the Broncos.
No, and I unfortunately took Javonte Williams in 2 leagues. Yeah.
I mean, who would have suspected this, right? All the hype and all the, I guess, momentum that Denver and Broncos country had, and now they're...
What momentum?
What, 3? Because they acquired Russell Wilson, and that energy he was bringing and everything like that.
What energy?
I don't know, the Russell Wilson energy he always brings, with his Subway commercials and his, hype up for Broncos country and their riding and stuff like that. That momentum, you know what I mean? But now
I've never loved Russ. Like, I've never thought, like, his last year with the Seahawks, everyone was saying, he's like a top 10 quarterback. I did not believe that.
No. And
he's bottom 10.
Yeah, this year. Man, what a terrible trade, what a terrible contract so far, and I don't see anything revolving for Denver. I agree. Baltimore, I think they are just too frustrated with how they keep blowing leads this year.
Well, Lamar is.
So
he really let it be known.
Denver's defense is good, but I think Baltimore's rushing game is going to have a good one, so Baltimore.
Yeah, I mean, Denver's defense is the only reason why they've been in how many games, honestly, but they can only do so much. I mean, Russell Wilson and the offense is just dreadful. They're bad. They're bad, and I don't see Baltimore choking this lead. There's no way. I mean, if they choke the lead against Russell Wilson and the Broncos, then something's incredibly wrong with Baltimore, if not already. But I don't see that happening. I think Baltimore at home definitely gets the win here.
Next game. The return of Deshaun Watson. The Cleveland Browns travel to the Houston Texans. How poetic. It's in Houston against his former team.
I'm actually surprised this ain't a primetime game.
Why would it be?
The story.
Okay, but
Deshaun Watson coming back.
That's not a story they want to promote, though.
No, because we know why.
I understand why, but then again, it's the NFL.
Nonetheless, what's your prediction?
The Texans are awful. The game comes on every week because I live in Texas. I just realized last week how bad they were. Like, it was like 20-0 at halftime, or 30-0 at halftime. I think the Browns will win this one pretty easy.
Yeah, definitely Cleveland here. I don't know how well Watson's going to be, but that won't matter because Cleveland's going to run all over Houston. I think Chubb has a great one. Watson's return, we'll see how he does, but Cleveland's definitely going to win this one.
Yeah, this is going to be Deshaun Watson's first bit of action in 2 years. I wouldn't anticipate Cleveland literally throwing him in there immediately, have him do all the work. You have the running backs capable to carry the game, carry that offense like they did this entire season and last week when they beat Tampa Bay in overtime. Cleveland for sure. I don't think Houston stands a chance one bit.
No, not a chance in hell.
They don't even throw the ball with Deshaun.
Yeah. Another team that probably doesn't stand a chance in this one is Seattle at Los Angeles. Los Angeles is just absolutely one of the.
They're nothing without Cup.
Dude, they are, and it's honestly probably one of the worst drop-offs I've seen from a Super Bowl winning team ever.
Yeah. Just an injury-plagued full season. Stafford's been underwhelming. The defense has been awful.
This is just the worst Super Bowl drop-off I've seen since the Broncos. What's your prediction?
I wouldn't say they have no chance. I do think it'll be like a somewhat close one, but I still think the Seahawks will win this one.
Yeah, this could be a typical NFC West battle where it's competitive, it's close, it's somewhat low scoring, but I think Seattle, Kenneth Walker's just firing on all cylinders right now. He could have another good game. DK Metcalf, Lockett, and company, we know what Seattle is capable of.
Yeah.
They're looking good. They're going to continue to fight for a playoff berth. Seattle for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Stafford's going to be playing in this game. I think Bryce Perkins may get his name called again, but he literally has nobody to throw to.
No.
Cooper's out. Robinson's out. Everybody's out. They don't have a running game. They have nothing on offense. The defense, I don't think they're really going to be able to contain Geno Smith and that Seattle offense one bit. Give me Seattle here.
Who the hell would have thought we would have said that 13 weeks ago?
Right?
Wow.
Wow.
Nonetheless, Miami at San Francisco. This could be game of the week. What's your prediction?
I'm kind of torn here because they're both. I would say these teams are on the same level with me. I'm gonna do like a ranking. I think I maybe just purely because it's in San Fran.
So you're taking the Niners?
Yeah, I'm taking the Niners.
Yeah, see, this one was just another tough one for me because you said it perfectly. This could go either way, and these two teams are almost identical in terms of talent and creativity and just what they show on the football field. And plus, Mike McDaniel is facing, the team that he just came from, which was San Francisco. And I think he was a big part in their success because we're seeing what he's doing in Miami, and it's done wonders. This is tough, man. This is legit another coin flip. I guess I'm going to go Miami. Just for the hell of it.
Yeah, I mean, Mike McDaniel's, he knows that team through thick and thin. It's because of San Francisco giving him that opportunity as OC is why he is the head coach for Miami, and he's done wonders for them in his first season as Miami head coach. San Francisco, ever since Geno stepped in, I said it for weeks, he's been a very solid quarterback, a nice, capable quarterback for them. Their defense is fantastic. They can get guys involved on the offense. San Francisco's really starting to get something going, but they are going to be against an electric team in Miami.
Something about San Francisco, something about them speaks of just ceiling. They have the tools, but I don't think they can push through that ceiling any further. I feel like it's they haven't hit it yet, but I think they're about to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're not. They have the tools that they're not all there yet, and I don't know why. There's just something off about San Francisco.
It just might be the Garoppolo effect.
They're missing a quarterback, big time quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, Garoppolo can't really take them to that next level like he did back when they last made it to the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. But going against Miami, it's going to be tough for them. I don't know how much. I mean, it's going to be an interesting matchup, but the San Francisco defense going up against the Miami offense, and this could go either way. But I think Miami and Mike McDaniel's, I think they win here.
Okay. Next game, we have the Kansas City Chiefs traveling to Cincinnati. What's your prediction?
See, this is also a pretty close one, I think. But I think the Chiefs are they're just kind of bulldozing over everyone right now.
They really are.
That's how I see it.
I think
so. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs are.
What are they, 9-2?
Well, they're
9-2.
They're 9-2, but they haven't lost in November and December in 2-3 years now, and although they're facing Cincinnati, who's feeling a little higher after beating Tennessee last week, but Kansas City's just too hot right now. Patrick Mahomes is eating. He might be the favorite for MVP at this point. He might be running away with the trophy, to be real with you.
Yeah.
It's hard to bet against Kansas City at this time of the year, even though they're on the road. Kansas City all the way.
Yeah, I mean, if Cincinnati gets Jamar Chase back and Joe Mixon back, that gives them a bigger chance to potentially pull off a win here at home. This is an AFC Championship game rematch here, where Cincinnati did win last year. But you got to bet Kansas City's going to be a little frustrated considering they lost to Cincinnati last year in the playoffs. And Kansas City's been on a hot streak, and I think they continue that and get the win here against Cincinnati.
Agreed. Next game, we have an AFC West bout. Los Angeles Chargers at the Las Vegas Raiders. What's your prediction?
Well, the Raiders came off a big week. Something about the Raiders just doesn't. They're not really clicking because they have all the tools, it seems. But I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with the Chargers with this one.
Yeah, you just can't trust the Raiders. I mean, I know Jacobs is eating right now. He's coming off a 300-plus yard total of offense game, but
Won me the week.
What'd you say?
Won me my fantasy week.
Yeah, I'm sure. How many points did he give you?
Like 42, 48 or something like that.
Yeah, almost 50, yeah.
You know, I could see him having another great game just because the Chargers, they can't contain the run. So
No, they can't. Josh Jacobs is just on a completely different level this year.
With that factor, you could go Vegas, but I can't convince myself to pick Vegas.
Well, then again,
ever.
you can't convince yourself to pick the Chargers either. Both teams just they're untrustworthy.
They are. But I'd rather trust the Chargers somehow rather than the Raiders, I think.
Thanks to quarterback.
Exactly. So I'm going Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, I think they played week 1. I think the Chargers won that. And I think they sweep them this year. I think the Chargers get the win. So, some tells me that Josh McDaniels, I mean, Vegas is on a 2-game win streak, and the Chargers are trying to get some momentum going in the later part of the season here. But some tells me that Josh McDaniels is going to do one of his, he's going to have one of his episodes, and it's going to cost the Raiders the game and stuff like that. Chargers are going to take advantage. I think Los Angeles gets the win.
Sunday Night Football, we have just another.
This is a blowout. Come on.
I tried to put it very generously, but
How is this Sunday night?
Well, it's Indianapolis at Dallas. What's your prediction?
Well, the Cowboys. Let's be real. They're gonna win. That's all I gotta say.
Enough said. I mean,
lock of the week, Dallas.
Dallas. Moving on. Monday Night Football. New Orleans at Tampa Bay in a rivalry matchup here. What's your prediction?
Both of these teams kind of, I don't know. See, these are also teams I see at like the same level. They kind of just, they can't produce enough is what it seems.
Yeah.
Like the Buccaneers, it seems like they should be so good. So I drafted like half their team, but I don't know. Might be safe to say Tom Brady's a bit washed.
Yeah, a little bit, isn't he?
I mean, still probably the Buccaneers are going to win this one somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I know Brady ever since playing for the Bucks hasn't really had a great resume versus the Saints, but I don't know. It's that division's getting tight right now. Depending on the result of the Steelers and Falcons game, this is really going to drive the energy up for either team because that division's tight. Give me Tampa Bay. I just like Brady in primetime.
Yeah, I mean,
this is going to be one of those like 6-3 games or like 13-6 games, I think.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I see this being heavily defensive, but you can't bet against Tom Brady in primetime. The Saints have just been a very off team with injuries and the defense not really living up to how they played the past few years. Tampa Bay, they're first in the division, and I'm sure they're going to want to try to keep a hold of that.
Yep.
So give me Tampa Bay.
Anyway, guys, that'll do it for the Week 13 picks. Again, huge thank you, huge shout-out to Rex for his time, his patience, and his predictions, and his thoughts about the Steelers and everything revolving around Week 13. Appreciate you for coming on, man.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me on.
Always, man. It's always great to have you on, man. And good luck in the jersey giveaway at the end of the year. And, of course, good luck in fantasy. Let's hope we get you into the playoffs for the first time ever.
I better not choke.
Don't pull a Falcons. Don't pull a Ravens, please. Listen. I'm not doing good, so you can take my spot.
Hey, I'm on a 4-game losing streak too, and I started 6-2.
Oh my.
Yeah.
It's not going well.
Not going well at all.
Nonetheless, let us know you guys' predicts down below, and see you in the next one.
Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later.
Peace.